Wow. Yeah, we have people today from Florida, from Canada, from Auckland, from Australia, even from many places of the world. And I'm really happy that Memento is growing. So, welcome everybody. My name is Albert. I am the founder and CEO of Memento. Memento has a mission. It wants to help people all around the world to capture their life stories, their memories. But not only that, we are helping mothers and fathers as well to capture the growth stories of their children and wedding stories when someone gets married. We have a wedding product as well. And I'm happy to share with you today some of the summer news. And we dive into Memento in a live demonstration as well, where you can ask all the relevant questions. And I'd like to answer them. And before we do, let me just explain the chat here. So on the right side, you see a chat where you said hi, but there's another button, the questions. So if you want, leave a question there during my um, while I speak, and I'll get to them later. If you leave it just in the chat, I might not see it. But if you write it there in the questions section, then everyone will be able to upvote it as well, and we can see what's relevant and what I should answer first. So we had people tonight or today. So for me, it's 10 p.m. already here. I'm in Germany. Who said we are experienced with Memento already. And then there are many people who just starting off with Memento. And I'd like to be very balanced here and help out everyone. So if you have a special question just regarding your book or your account, feel free to contact us in the support chat or write an email. Okay, so now we jump in and let me know if you can see my screen with Marcus on this white book. If that's okay, just drop me a yes, and I'll keep going then. In the meantime, get a glass of water. Yes, okay. Thank you, Lucia. That's nice. Okay, so what is new with Memento and how will it help your book? So, first of all, you can be one of those people here who were successful in writing their own book. We had Gail from New York, Werner from Germany here, Victoria from Switzerland, who printed 36 books and distributed all of them in the world. Then we had Rainer, who wrote his book on a smartphone. Can you imagine that? So he just spoke, and all his voice recordings were transcribed to text, and he was amazed how easy that was. Then we had Verena. She made the book for her children, helped them to hand them over something when they turn 18 to just remember their childhood. We had Rachel from Canada as well. She is a travel influencer and she is traveling all around the world, and she made a Memento Stories travel book. And we had Anya. She had a very heartbreaking story, and I'd love to share that in another webinar are. And then there is Barbara, one of our dearest authors. She is writing her third book already. And she started off and she holds the book of her mom in the camera. And she started to write it while mom was still alive. And during the writing, her mom passed away and she finished the book on her own. And she always comes back to us and says how meaningful it is to listen to the voice of her mom, who recorded stories as well. So these are just some of many stories we have heard of Memento users, and I would be so happy if you could share yours after you receive your book with us, because I believe behind every Memento book there is a real interesting life story. Good. What will we cover during this webinar? First of all, I'll show two new products. We have two new fill-in books that are available on Amazon, and why we were creating them, I'll explain in a second. Then new plans and pricing as well. We made it easier to start a new Meminto book. Then I want to give a short review of what we've learned in April and in May, because I think there are many of you who might have skipped that or did not see that. And then we go directly into the live demonstration where I show a short introduction into Meminto and show the basics for beginners, just to explain shortly how Meminto works. And maybe I'll share one tip or the other. Then one of the topics I have invited you to is the translate questions. So if you have relatives or an aunt or grandmother who is speaking maybe another language like Spanish, or even here in Germany, of course, we have many Italians, Russians, Turkish people. And, children are discovering Memento and they want to invite their grandparents to tell the story of the past. But, they don't speak German as well or English. So now you can translate all the Memento questions that you have prepared for someone else with just one single click, and it will be presented to them in their native language, no matter where they are on the world. Good. Then we have one of the biggest things that people always were asking for is how can I organize my photos in folders? Because, you can have hundreds of photos there. And keeping track of them is a bit complicated if you don't have them structured. So that is possible now as well. And of course, family and friends now can order your book directly if you don't want to order them in the first order. What does that mean? I'll come to that in the end, but just shortly, we had a young lady who lost her father. I guess he was around 62 in a car accident. And what I didn't know is that this father was the company owner of a company that had branches in Mexico, the United States, China, and Germany. So four of them. And she invited many, many people from all the companies to tell about the stories and memories of her father. And you won't believe it. They were 160 people contributing to this book. And it was so easy for them because they didn't need an account. They just wrote stories based to the questions that Meminto was asking about her dad. And when we talked to each other, she was in tears. And she said she never believed that all of those people would contribute and would write such meaningful and warm things about her dad. And then the question came up, how do we create all of those books and send it out to different locations all over the world? This is when we built a new public checkout. So now her book can be ordered by any employee all over the world and be shipped to them directly where they are. And you can do so as well, because Memento is not only a life story book process. Meminto is a worldwide tool that helps you to create books. And you can write any book with Meminto, but we are, of course, focused on the important life stories. Okay, so now that was a short overview. Let's dive in shortly. New products, what we have brought to the market for people who are not techie savvy, who want to write by hand, and who love to strive through paper books. We have brought to Amazon the new Dad Tell Me Your Story book. And that's a book that comes with 52 thoughtful questions right from our Meminto question database. I can show you one actually. Let me just do that. It's sometimes better to show in person here. So now this is one of these books. You see it in German now, and it has a table of contents. It comes with chapters, and you can really write in there, right? So if you know someone who just wants to write their story down, of course, it's available for moms as well. This is the right one. And this is now available from just $9.99 directly on Amazon. So, yeah, check it out if you think that's a nice idea to bring people who the thought of Minto. And yeah, so I'm just changing the layout now again like that so you can see me. So that's the dad version. Then we have the mom version. You can bring photos in there as well. And the best thing actually is every book includes a $10 discount for Memento stories online. This is how it looks inside. So you have enough space to write stories down. And the best thing actually here is while others bring 100 or 200 questions in their books, we just picked the 52 most meaningful questions here. So people are not like overwhelmed or think that is so much of a homework. You can easily do that, and you will get a nice life story of someone right back when they hand you over the filled book. Yeah, and as I said, each book comes with a $10 discount for a real Memento Stories project. So if someone says, I love this process, I need to have my own printed book where my profile photo is on the cover and my stories are in there and my voice is in there, then this book actually pays for itself. So, okay, that is the new Memento Stories real life product that you can get on Amazon. Now, if you have any questions, just always drop me a line in the chat. I try to look at it and see if I can help out with anything. New Memento pricing plans and included options. You know, in the past, it was often complicated to know exactly what you want to order with Memento. That means we had, a rather complicated way in the checkout where you would have to select the amount of pages that you want to start your book with. And many people came to us and asked, do I need 100 pages? Do I need 200 pages? How many pages do others need? And we try to help as much as we could, but we thought there must be a better way. And this is why we came up with a new pricing structure here. So now you have three plans when you want to give away a Memento book. This one is now, it shows euro prices, but it's actually the same in dollars. So sorry for that. I took the wrong screenshot here, I think. But now the essential package comes for 99 US dollars. It includes one hardcover book with up to 100 pages, up to 100 colored photos, includes two co-storytellers, and compared to any other memory book service out there, we are not limiting you to 1 year of writing time, but you have 2 years. So double the time. With others, you pay the same price again if you want to continue and add to your book after 1 year. Not so with Memento. You have 2 years of writing time. You will get weekly questions by email, as always, can record voice messages and place them as audio or video in the book as a QR code. And of course, with Memento, and that's one of our standalone things as well, we have a great Android and iOS app. And it serves actually a different thing than the web. Because if you are on the go, you have some thoughts or you want to record something, you have memories, you just take your phone, talk into it, and when you're back at the computer, you can write or transcribe everything you said. So that is the essential package. Then you have the complete package, and that is a big win for Many because we added so much value here. In this package, your book can have up to 300 pages, and that's more than enough for the average author. You have unlimited colored photos. You can have access to 35 plus beautiful cover templates. Your speech to text translates automatically in more than 30 languages. So we had Chinese people telling their story, and while they were talking Chinese, they just hit a button at the end and it came out in English. So that is possible as well. Then, of course, the Meminto AI writing assistant. What is a very nice thing for correcting grammar, and it's a spell checker, and typos can be fixed, but it can do even more. It can improve your writing style. It helps you to make texts longer or shorter, and just helps you to get the best book out that you possibly can. And here you can have up to 10 co-storytellers. So these are actually people who create an own Meminto account and can help you to add questions, help you finishing your story, or assisting you in anything that you would want to have in your book. And then there's the last package. It's the premium package. That's a great deal for family and groups, because in the premium package, you get 3 printed books plus the digital one. The digital book is something I can here answer the question to Denise, because she asked, before I finalize my book and order it, is there a way to preview it? Yes. Before you release it to print, you will see your book in a digital way, and I'll show it to you afterwards. You can really flip through the pages. And if you want to keep that digital book, you can always do so and pay it extra if you chose just the complete package. But in the premium package, it's included right away, and you can share it with anyone in the world. Yeah, in this package as well, you get more AI usage. You get the watermark PDF download, watermark free PDF download, I'm sorry. And you can include the entire family to write stories. Also, in the end, just to be sure that your book will come out great, we'll include the professional layout review, where one of my team members will check your book so everything is printed in a nice way and there won't be any issues at the end. Because, sometimes you overlook something and you say, yes, I'm pretty sure everything is good, and then you hold your book in your hand and you see something that you didn't see before. That won't happen here, because we check the book if you want to, and that's included in the premium package as well. Additionally, you get a 45 minutes personal consultation with me or one of my team members before. So we help you through the book, show you the software, or anyone that would appreciate that. Yes, so these are actually the new pricing models, and let me know if you have questions about them. I will come to the questions in a minute. Good. Then now we just want to take a look back to see what we learned in April, what you might have missed, and in May. In April, that was the Meminto 5.3 webinar, and I explained how you can invite guests to your book. That means people who want to contribute. Here's an example. Just 4 weeks ago, I lost a deep friend of mine, and he just didn't wake up in the morning, and he was a very beloved man, and many of his friends asked me, "Hey, Albert, I'm sorry. Could we create a book for him and invite many people?" And I said, "Yes, of course. Why not?" And they invited 26 people and contributed to this book. They don't need an account. They don't need to subscribe to anything. They just click a link that they are sent to, and they can just answer their questions and leave memories and notes about another one. And how that works, I explained that in this webinar. If you are interested, just check it out on YouTube. And then we had Meminto 5.4, where we had three very important and nice features. First of all, we had the Meminto AI text optimization. Before, it worked paragraph by paragraph or just on a selected part on the text. So to do all the spell checks and grammar checks. But now it works for whole text entries. So if you have a 3,000 words text, you just hit the Meminto AI button. I showed that later as well, and it will correct and optimize all of the text in one go. Then you have the restore function when you lost something because you removed or deleted it. We now have text variations or text versions. You can go back in time to retrieve stories that you have written before at any time. And of course, page templates. Page templates help you to style your book with one click. So we've chosen for you the best font combinations, like in size and in font family style, and made three nice layouts and templates that you can simply click on. I'll show that in a second. But here in the Meminto 5.4 webinar video that's available on YouTube, you can check out how that worked. Okay, now I'm taking a look in the questions section here before we go to the basics. So now we have a question here from Denise again. I only added a few pictures because I'm not sure where they are appearing before the question that I put it by. Okay, yeah, I'll talk about how to add those questions in the media gallery, how to place them in the text later. And I guess this will answer your question. Denise, let me know if that's not the case, then I'll go into that again. And we have Catherine. Hello. How do I know which pricing model I have? I've been working on my book since November 25 and expires 27. If you bought your Memento book before June 26, you are not in these pricing models, but you had another pricing model. And that were good deals as well. So we can talk about that, but I think you're interested in how many pages you have and all this stuff. You can simply go to the Memento chat that you find at the bottom right, actually, and ask the chatbot how many pages can I have, or you just go to your book details, and I'll show that in a second as well. Okay, now let's go over. We take the live demo, and I'll show you around in Meminto. When you want to log in, it's always important you remember that address, meminto.com/app, or you come to the website and click the right top, and then you're here. And here on the login, you have the possibility to log in with Magic Link. You just type your email address here and hit Send Magic Link, and you will receive a link where you just click. You don't need to remember any passwords, and you're in. Or if you remember your password or you have saved it, you simply click the password button here and log in. And that's the way I want to go. Of course, if you logged in with Google or signed in with Apple, you can choose those buttons here as well. When I'm here now at my new Memento dashboard or book, one of the new things you see is the new welcome screen. On this new welcome screen, every time you log in, you will see Now I'm back. I'm not sure what happened. Suddenly the connection was broken. Is everyone back here? Let me know if you can still hear me. I'll share my screen in a second again. So that happens sometimes when you are live. That yes, okay. Thank you, Elena. Yes, I am back as well. So okay, thank you for waiting for me while I was reconnecting. Okay, good. So let me see. I'll change the layout shortly here. So you should be able to see me now. I hope the internet connection stays now. I'm connected through my mobile right now. Okay, so we left here with the new dashboard where I said you will be greeted every time with a new quote here. And that should motivate a bit to help to continue writing. But for everyone who is new to Memento, that's a short overview right now. So what you see here is actually your writing screen. At the top, you can always see how many questions, how many pages your book has. Then you can go to your profile and settings at the right top to change, for example, the language or check out how many credits your Memento AI tool has. Then on the left side here, you see questions. This is where your questions sit and wait, or yeah, wait to be answered. Once in a week, we send you one of those questions, and you can always decide on if you want to answer them or not. You can delete them as well if there's something that's not interesting for you, or when you say, I don't want to answer that one. Then you have the writing screen on the left side, and this is where your story is being created. So the chapters, that's actually the table of contents that you will later see in your book. For example, birth has now a few questions here. What is your full name? Do you know why you were called like that? And if I open that, I see already I have an audio here and I have written something. It says my full name is just Albert. I don't have a second name. So this is a transcription of the audio file here. I could go here and write something more like that. And you can add photos as well using the toolbar here and making your book to something really personal. Like if I would take a bit of a coffee here, now I have an image here in my book. And I can always preview what I wrote with the preview button here. So I click the preview button, and then you will see that's an approximate 6 by 9 inch paper. That's how we print the book. And you see the title of the question. You see what I wrote in the beginning, and you see my audio here. So this one is the audio file that can be scanned with a mobile phone, and you can listen to what the person said, and then it is transcribed here as well. So everything is back in the book. You can, if you want to reorder things between chapters like that, then you just drag and drop it like here and move it to another place. You can even move it to another chapter like that, and it will stay in the correct order. So this is how you would um, enter the questions that Meminto has prepared for you, and you can start writing and filling it up with your answers and memories. Then you have the media library on that screen here. And the media library is now the thing that is new. So here you can add new folders to restructure your photos. For example, you have 300 of them. You just add a new folder call it family, for example. And now you see there's the new folder created. And then you can check and select images from your media gallery and structure it, move it to that folder. And they won't appear here anymore, but now they're cleanly structured in the family folder. And when you're back in the writing screen, you can integrate those photos directly in your story. For example, I want to add this image now just below the one of myself. I click the button for image, go to image gallery, and then I select the family folder here because that's where I just dropped it. Now you can see my image. I just drop it in here and it will be placed in the book. That's how easy it is. And I hope, Denise, I could answer your question here, how to add images to the book. Of course, you can add many images at once as well. So if you want to just upload images, you click my device, you select, for example, four of them, you click upload, and in a matter of seconds, they will be a part of your book. Now, here they are. And now you can go on and structure them, or you just say, I need to create a new folder from this selection. I click that. I call them wallpapers like that, create and move. And now you have the new folder with all the images inside. That should help you to, yeah, get a better overview of everything that you see. I shortly want to go back to the question screen because I promised you I want to show you how you can translate questions for anybody else who does maybe not speak English, right? And I would say, let's try that. We are going to translate these questions now into Italian, if that's okay for you. So what are we going to do? We just hit the button translate questions here at the top right. And then I select Italian here from the drop-down list. I select it until it's green, and then I click translate. Now Meminto will go through all the prepared questions and translate them and present a table where you can compare, if you speak Italian, of course, where you can compare um, if the translation was working fine. This is what I see here. You see in the left column, you see the original English wording, and on the right column, you see the Italian translation. So we even translate the categories here, and everything is being translated like that. So I'm not an Italian speaker. Is someone here in the webinar who speaks Italian? You could give us a short hint if everything's fine. Because if not, and we need to change something before we edit to the questions, we can click on edit, and then we can just change something here like that, save it, and apply the translation to our book. And in a matter of seconds, all the questions are now Italian. And they will receive, or they will be sent to the recipient of the book, of course, in Italian from now on. That's how you would work language, um, yeah, like how to say that, without those language barriers. And you can invite almost anybody in the world to write a story about their life or any other life chapter. Let me throw a short view into the chat now again to see if there are new questions. Yeah, okay. So we have Joe asking, might you show how to resize and position an imported image on a page, please? Oh yeah, I'd love to do that. I go back to my writing screen, and I select one of those questions I added an image to. Let me see. Yeah, for example, let me take myself here. This one is now a bit big, but we'll try to do that. So if you click that image, you see those handlers on the right and at the bottom. But I first want to see how does it look on a page. Will it consume the entire page? Yes, almost. So what I can do is I can make it smaller, and probably then I can have it from edge to edge. Let's see how that works. First of all, I click that image, I grab the handler, I make it smaller like that. So I actually resize the frame around it. And then I can grab this image, move it where I want to have it like that. And then I take a look in the preview again. So now you can see it's the exact frame that I just made, but I want to have it a bit higher here. Let's move it up a bit like that. Okay. And this is how you would have it here. There you go. But now I want to make the image smaller as well. I click on the photo again, and then I click the minus button. This is how I zoom out and make sure I get the most out of that pictures. When I save it now and click preview, then the frame stayed the same, but it zoomed me out. Okay, so these are the options you have. And now if you click on that one and you click the button to expand the image, it will do it like that. And let me see now. Now it's expanded. You see that because of that icon here. And when I click preview now, it will reach one edge and go to the other. So you can break out of your text layout with that and have full paper or full sheet images here, actually. I hope that helped, Joe. If there's any other question regarding that, let me know. I'll go deeper here. Okay, then discover an ad. Discover an ad is because you were given 52 questions to each book. If you click here, you can select a chapter that you want to explore more, for example, My Home, and it will show you, it will present you more questions that are not yet part of your book. You just click them and you say, add selection to my queue. And now you see as of now, I have 49 questions, but as soon as I click that button, I will add three more, and now I have three more questions. Of course, in English now, they're not translated yet into Italian. So it's always a good idea to add the questions first and then to translate it if you want to have them for another person. Okay, Uta is asking, I have a lot of problems with simple editing features. I can't see the whole screen, can't remove page breaks, which I seem to have inserted. I can't reposition a photo. Okay, so that is maybe a computer problem, but what I can say is how to remove or delete things that should not be there. If you hover over one of those elements here, you see the 6 dots at the left side. When you click that, you are presented with a move up, delete, or move down button. If I click delete, of course I have to confirm, and then the image will be deleted. I can do the same one here, and I'll do that. And here I'll move that up, and then I can move around the elements in my story. If you can't see the whole screen, we have to check if your screen's too small or what's the problem. I would say, okay, you are using Meminto app on an iPhone 16e. We have to check it because the app works a bit differently. And if you have a very big font size, It might be that certain elements won't show. But drop us a message in the support chat and we'll be happy to help here. Good. Then let me go to layout and print, because now you would want to know, how do my stories now get printed and how will it look like? Okay. So if you are on layout and print, you will have to go through 5 steps until you see your book as a real book and can flip through the pages. So first of all, I'm changing the book title, My Life Stories, like that. I can add a dedication here. And the second step is where I see, maybe for the first time, I see the entire pages here and I can scroll through them. I see the table of contents. I see a dedication here, and no worries, the Meminto watermark will not be there if in the end, of course. Then you have the chapter, and then come the stories here, like that. So now the page templates are like this. For example, if I choose playful and funny, it will change my book layout in a matter of seconds to a new layout like that. And if you say, okay, I like that, but the orange is not my case, then you can simply switch to the individual section here, change the color, for example, and also you can change all of the other options here, like how should the table of contents be presented? How should the chapters be written? Which font should be taken? Whatever. So you have high flexibility of making your book look like yours. If you're done with that, I'll click Save first, because it will change the color now of the chapters or the headline. Now it's no longer orange here. I go to Save and Next. Now you are asked to choose one of those covers that we have prepared for you. And if you say, I like Sarah and Jan, or I like Catherine here, I'll go with that one. Just select it and go to Save and Next. And if you know Canva or other designing tools, you will be familiar with that pretty quickly, because it looks like you are used to it. So now you see the cover here, and you can exchange the image, for example, with one of your own. Just click the upload button here, and you have to select an image from your hard drive, and you can upload that here. You can also change the title of your book, the name, the spine can be edited, of course, and the back can be edited as well. So we have high flexibility compared to many of our competitors here as well, because they only let you upload a photo, and that's basically it. With Meminto, you can edit the entire book cover. And when you're good to go, you click Save and Next. And now it will construct your book and create one complete preview where you can flip through and see the digital book first, or even a 3D view of how the book will look in the end. This typically takes a minute or so, and then it's ready to go. There we are. Now we can flip through the book and see if everything's in place. I can go forth and back like in a real book and just check the pages like that. I can also check a 3D view of my book here. That's very lovely, because you see it exactly here like it will be when it arrives. Okay, and if that's okay, you go to the checkout, and you have to at least confirm here that you did a final check. and you authorize the printing. Now we're here at the complete auto screen, and if you haven't paid anything up till here, you are being asked to pay or to pay a difference if you exceeded the page limitation here. And the new option I want to show you today is the option let others order their own copies. So this is where they will see, or they will get a checkout link from you and can order their own copies without having to ask you, or without you to having to order it for them and then distributing them all around the city or even further away. So if you check this, in the end, you will be able to see a checkout link. That is basically it. And now we're open for a question and answer round. So if you have any more questions to Memento, or if you want me to present something else, then I'm happy to do that. Just drop me your notes in the chat, and I'll show anything I can here with Memento. Not sure if everybody knows what credits are and how many you have. So, for example, here you have, or in my book, I have 2,000 credits, and I can use those credits with Meminto AI, transcribing text or doing text optimizations. And if you run out of credits, you can always add more. They're actually very cheap, so it will help you get your book done faster. Yeah, I see the question from Lisa. She asks, I missed the first of this. Will it be online? Yes. So we were like, the connection broke in between, but I hope I'll be able to stick it together, and I'll put it on YouTube again so you can watch it later on. And also, you will receive an email where you can have a replay of this webinar. Okay, let me check the other chat. Okay, good. So now everybody is writing in the questions section and not in the chats section anymore. Okay, so if you have any questions left, just click the chat button here, and it's either me or someone in my team who will answer them. And if we're not here, our AI does a great job as well. Just let us know if you need a personal assistance, then we're trying to do our best. Okay, I'll say thank you for now, and I hope this helped you, and I hope you can go on and continue with your book in a good way. Of course, will take care about any problems that you might discover or see. Just let us know, because only if we know we can improve it, right? Okay, thank you, Denise, and everyone. I wish you a great day or night or morning. Hi to people in Auckland and Sydney. And I hope we'll see each other again in the next webinar, possibly after summer break, somewhere in October, where we present a complete new platform in Meminto. We are working heavily beyond the surface and trying to do our best to give you the best experience in book writing that you can have in a browser. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.